Namaskar. It is the degradation of the inner values. It is the degradation of the inner values that has resulted in the destruction of the outer environment. If you think of not just HR problems, problems of the world, I feel very connected with this statement. And I think the building block of all the problems or solutions, human failures and human successes, there's one essential component involved, nobody else but we as individuals. So when we talk about corporate governance, when we talk about peak performance, when we talk about corporations succeeding, human potential reaching its maximum capability, we have to remember at the very foundation cellular level of it is a human being. And it is that asset where we have to trigger that change. And that change that I'm proposing in next 25 minutes or so is inner transformation, because we cannot change anybody else. I thought I can change the world. Then I thought my country, then my city. Then I thought my wife is totally dependent on me. I can change her, couldn't. Then I thought my kid at least. You have your kid and you can say, come here. Might not come. Even if comes, what you say might not say, accept it. So the only place we can change is ourselves, and we can lead the change by example. And when I'm proposing this topic of spirituality, my intent is not to take you in the realm of religion or any such divisive force. My meaning of spirituality is, how can we live a life in the excellence zone? Now the question would be, what is excellence zone? So when we are inspired by the deepest sense of purpose, and our actions are inspired by virtues we own, we perform to the best of our capabilities and live in the excellence zone. And through this creating spiritual workspace, what my proposition is, we should create an environment that people in our organizations can achieve their maximum potential. And I think the person or the organization, sub-organization that is responsible is no one other than all of us sitting here who are related with the human resources or human resource development. So what is in store for you today? Why we need spiritual workspace, how to create one. So we have discussed this morning a lot of what needs to be done. And I hope that by the end of my presentation, I give you some of the tools how we can achieve what we need to achieve to create a very ethical, clean governance in organization. I could not stay away from this virus of Gen X and Y. So we have discussed X and Y. X being those who are senior in the workforce, Y who are newcomers in the workforce. But be aware that there's that third generation, Generation Z, which is our potential workforce. And you know how they are changing? And you know why we need this spirituality in a very different form now? I do this presentation to students also. And there was this very bright young girl in a primary school. And teacher said, you have to hear her poem to see how mindsets are changing. And the girl goes on the stage and she sings. And by the way, we have been singing this rhyme for ages. And see what she says? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I don't wonder who you are. I have searched Google or Wi-Fi. You a ball of burning gases up in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, little star. So the young generation is going to question everything. And what I mean by spirituality is, how do we take actions that are purposeful? And since without actions nothing can work, how do we make sure those purposeful actions are sincere and they are noble? And I believe that end effect in a long duration, sustainable basis would be happy organizations. And if people in organizations are happy, I think they'll be more productive and they'll have more happy customers. So we should start looking inwards as we are more focused outwards. The second reason why we need to have spiritual organization. A very brilliant, bright entrepreneur. It was his birthday. And his mentor, who is an experienced old gentleman, comes and gives him a packet, very nicely wrapped. And he's thinking, wow, it has to be, some car key or something that I can wear, expensive watch. And what comes out of it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So he thought this old gentleman has gone totally nuts. I'm in my 30s. And he's giving me Gita, which is for oldies. So he nicely takes that and puts it on the top of the shelf, which he never uses. Fast forward, he's 55, 60-year-old. Kids have gone. They hardly call. Friends, they are too busy in their own things. And this gentleman sitting at home, nothing better to do. He thinks of, my mentor had given me that old-time book called Gita. Let me take it out. So he takes out that book. Very first page, mentor has written, here I give you a sense of all that I've learned in my life. Instruction book to how to lead a happy life. And when we start following it, when we have already lived good part of our life. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you have a very big challenge. Look at the workforce that is coming to us. Not all institutions, but a good number of institutions, they are prepaid institutions. They make their returns before they impart education. And that education is about a syllabus that needs to be completed. And that education is about teaching all of us, our students or our kids, how to manage finances, how to manage people, how to manage others, how to manage circumstances. But do you think there is a course which says how to manage yourself? So if I had a fight at home with my wife and I don't know how to control my anger or my anxiety, and I sit in a board meeting, you can well guess what will be my decision-making capabilities that day. Do I know how to handle myself? So now that workforce, those who are only taught about syllabus come to your organization. Unfortunately, organizations are post-paid. First, these assets have to perform, then only you get the payout. So who is going to transform these assets, who are prepaid assets, into someone who will not only create value for your company, but also create in a way that on a sustained basis, your company creates a well-known brand? I think that's the responsibility of human resource managers like us. So what drives peak performance? There are multiple dimensions, and we can talk about it for days and days. I'm just going to pick one simple one out of it, and the most meaningful one, the law of action. So we are saying that it is accumulated individual actions that will either create a peak performing organization or an organization which looks healthy, but there are termites which are eating it away. What am I proposing then? I'm saying that in the domain of actions, there are 3 spheres of actions. Actions that people want to do. Actions that people have to do. So want to do was my passion. Have to do because I need to pay my bills. And third sphere of action is ability to do. Again, let me take you to the domain of cricket, and I call it Sachin Tendulkar model. What he wants to do, play cricket. What he has to do, play cricket. What ability he has to play cricket. What a wonderful map. Now, somebody asked me what is happening to Sachin today. See, as the time changes, our skill set needs improvement. Our resources needs enhancement, because we might have want to do, have to do, but we might not have ability to do anymore. That's what is happening to Sachin now. So he is finding some other have to do and want to do. Why I'm sharing this? Because out of this comes some of the food for thought for you, the HR executives of the company. Because there are some opportunity areas for you to create a spiritual workspace in very excited employees in your organization. And how? You will see in a minute. Just ask, and I do this exercise when I do workshop, just ask people to draw a wagon wheel and tell them, on this, put what you are passionate about, your family, your work. And if you want to do technology specific, you can say, in work, which area are you passionate about? In your life, I do for life. So what areas are you interested? And then I invite them to say, okay, now you draw these kind of marks. In those areas, how happy do you feel? You say that you want to spend time with your family. You say that you want to develop your skill. In last 1 year, how much time, focus have you put? If answer is very little, and you are saying that's your high priority, then we know why you are not happy. I think I need to send you to some training, or I need to upgrade your skills. So I invite you to reflect on this model for yourself and for your employees. Because here, the intent of your actions is living with passion and living a joyful life. And outcome is financial riches. I think so far our corporate philosophy has been, our actions are intended for financial gains. And towards the end, we think of joy. And there's this paradox that when I was young, I had time and energy, but no money. When I became youth, I had money and energy, but no time. And when I became old, I have time and money, but no energy. So I invite you to enjoy a joyful life when we still have time, energy, and everything. Thank you so much. And I'm a marketing guy, so if you want to comment on me, you have to run between A and B to reach me at arunb.com. Thank you so much.